everyone. Well, oh, I just realized I don't have a microphone and you're not going to be able to hear me at all. Well, anyways, I guess I'll just speak a bit louder. Welcome to my new show. Come Sew With Me is what I'm calling it. And today I'm going to be making some reusable coffee filters. For this you will need needle and thread. I've gone with this sort of beigey green color. I think it will look nice and organic. With this bit of cloth that I have found. And last night I sort of washed, dried, prepared it to be ready to be turned into coffee filters. I'm gonna do a double layer. I'm not gonna follow a pattern, and yeah, just purely chaotic sewing this afternoon. And I will bring you in for a closer shot, and then I guess I will do a voiceover in post so you can hear my thoughts.
So this fabric that I got is from the lining of an old skirt, I believe. I tested it before with the coffee, and I decided that I needed to do 2 layers of this fabric to prevent the coffee grounds from passing through. They kind of went through with the 1 layer, but then with 2 on top of each other, it seemed like it stopped most of them, so that's what I decided to go with. I decided not to use a pattern because I enjoy acting like an overconfident dumbass, and I always assume that everything's just gonna work out the way that I envision it, when that is not the case, almost ever. So here I am cutting it into what I think is the appropriate shape. Doesn't look quite right, not quite sure how to fold this into a cone shape. I decided to go with the sort of triangle cone shape instead of the bucket shape. I think those are the 2 kinds, but I'm going for the one that's like sort of a cone triangle and you open it up. And so I'm trying to figure out how to do that here. I'm struggling to figure out how I want to do this, but I remembered that pins are a thing I can use. Hold on, I'm getting too far ahead in my script here. I'm just trying to fold it in different ways and see how I can... here come the pins. Just trying to figure out a way that I can make this be the shape that I want it to be. If you want to follow along at home, you can do that. I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend using some kind of a pattern or a sewing machine. Just cutting off the end thinking that will fix it. Obviously not. I didn't have the fabric folded in the right way either. Like the grains were going against each other as well, I think. It's just kind of a mess. I knew I didn't want it to be that long, so I decided to cut it in half. Yeah, I thought I would get 2 layers, 2 squares of 2 layers, and attach them to make the cone style filter. So here I'm just cutting it in half and trimming it, and then it kind of seems right in a way. It seemed like the right shape at the time. I don't know. Here you can see I'm trying to match them up. They didn't end up being the same size in the end. Trimming the excess. And there we have it, 2 funny little cone-shaped things that I'm gonna sew together on the sides. You can see me thinking. You can see me thinking about what I'm doing, but I'm not getting it. I'm just not figuring this one out. You can see that I know that they're different shapes and that they're different sizes as well, but I didn't figure it out. So now I'm working on how to attach them. So I'm just gonna sew the sides closed, but then I figured I'd do a little hem. That would be the best way to do it. I wanted to get the sewing machine out, but number one, I have no idea. Oh, look at that side difference, jeez. This is a disaster. Look at her struggle. She can't figure this out. Yeah, I wanted to use the sewing machine, but my mom doesn't know how to use it, and I didn't know where it was, and she wouldn't tell me. That says a lot, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm pinning the sides closed so I have something to work off of. And excuse the hair hanging down from my head. I was having a good hair day, and I didn't want to put it up. That's that on that. I tried sort of bleaching it, put some highlights in it, but that didn't really take. But I guess I'm happy about that, because if it did, it could have been really weird. Pinning that hem closed. For some reason, I decided to forego sewing in a learned and civilized manner, and instead I just shoved the needle in there until the stuff was attached. Just sort of working through that hem.
Well, I did one square of this. I think it looks pretty bad. And I'm gonna take a break now. It is still snowing. It has been snowing all day. For what? I don't know.
Here's my backyard in the March snow. Not much of it stuck. Later in the evening,
I think it's really messed up, and I just have to keep doing it. So the camera can see your hands, but not your face. Oh, I need scissors.
Is there sound?
No.
after doing a crossword with my mom and becoming too frustrated to carry on, I brought my little needlework downstairs to work on the other side of the coffee filter. It's kinda cute how we're just a couple of hands working together there. That crossword we were doing was ridiculously hard, and when we got the paper this morning, we saw that the answers were very stupid, and that's why we didn't figure them out. And I'm kind of doing the same exact thing that you saw me doing to the other piece of fabric. I'm just sort of making hems and sewing them closed in a very unorganized, sloppy kind of way. It was nice to be offline for a while. This is the next morning, or the next afternoon rather. I put it together, and it looks like a big rustic tea bag, except it's kind of too small to be a coffee filter. You can see all my weird edges and hems in there. It's kind of cute, I guess. Yeah. This is a cute little handmade coffee thingy I got my mom for Christmas. And I'm gonna be using I'll just check in the water temperature there. You don't want to put water that's too hot on your coffee, and that it will make it taste bad if the water is too hot. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring in turn off that water. Going to bring in my Colombian, yes, Just Us coffee. In the ground version, and it's really nice tasting coffee. I like it. It's I don't want to say neutral, but it is like a very flavorful kind of neutral. And I'm gonna do 3 heaping teaspoons of this stuff. There's 1. You can see it kind of stuck to my spoon because it was a little damp, I guess. 2. And a 3. And I'm gonna do a little tap tap tap. Did you know that I lifted 800 pounds of wood pellets this morning? I did. I'm the only one in this house with working arms. Coffee poured through pretty well, I think. Just sort of seeing how it goes and then adding the rest of the hot water. It filtered out most of the grounds, which I appreciated. There were some of the finer ones when I got to the bottom of the cup that slipped through, but that's okay. I'll probably make another one with the sewing machine soon. And this is how it washed out. It didn't stain that much, and the grounds were pretty easy to get out of my weird hems. Pretty good. There's my stepdad in the back, just tasting the coffee. And you can see through the window to the porch there, the 800 pounds of wood that I lifted. And yeah, stay safe, wash your hands, and I love you.